One of the reasons the anniversary edition is amazing compared to the old version of the game is that now we have the ability to use a hotkey which when used will make our hero pick up all the gold, health and energy potions, also all relics and charms on the ground next to our hero. To use this feature we should go to the options of the game, hit the tab key binding, scroll down and there we will find the quick pickup option. Here place your mouse under the primary position, click here in the empty space and then hit one key of your keyboard. When inside the game you go next to gold, potions, relics and charms and by hitting this key you pick up all the items at once without wasting any time picking them one by one. If you want you can also attach a secondary key to do the same thing. This is an amazing feature that speeds up the game very much. Speed of the game. In this edition of the game we can make the game run faster overall, which means that the game becomes less boring when we have to run through long distances in the world of Titan Quest, and of course we can complete the campaign faster. This feature increases the overall speed of the game, meaning that it increases the total speed of our character, the speed the loot drops on the ground, and also it increases the total speed of all monsters, so this way the game will keep its challenge and it will not become easier. To change the speed of the game we go to options and in the general tab on the game speed option we click and choose one of three options. The default is the normal and we can change it to fast or very fast. One thing to remember though, there is a bug in the game where if we do not play on a normal speed and we kill the Scorpos King in the Fayum Desert and try to retrieve the Eye of Chaos item to complete the main quest of the campaign, we will not be able to pick up the Eye of Chaos. The solution is after we kill the Scorpos King, even on fast or very fast mode, then we go to options and put the game in normal speed. And then we can go to take the Eye of Chaos from the ground. This way we can take the item, complete the quest, and immediately after we pick up the item we can change the game speed to fast if we want. Register multiplayer. To play multiplayer, first you must register your copy of the game. To do that, hit the join or host multiplayer button and then hit the register button. You should put a password and username of your choice and also your email. Then hit register and you will be ready. Just remember to write somewhere your username and password, because if you forget those two, there is no way you can retrieve them and you will most probably lose access to the online multiplayer of the game. The only thing left to do after this is to write your username and password and hit the login button and you will be able to play online with other players. Roster of heroes in menu. The game shows the characters we created in alphabetical order. To select a different character, we hit the next or previous buttons and we will see the next or previous character in alphabetical order. If you plan to create many characters and especially mule characters to keep the hundreds of viable items you will find in the game, then it is a good idea to take advantage of the alphabetical order this menu is based on. So, the best approach on creating many mule characters would be to start the name of each mule character with the word mule and then write the type of the items, for instance that this character is going to keep in its inventory and stash. For example, this is a good way to name your mules: mule bows, mule helms, mule staves, mule swords, etc. This way you will have all your mules next to each other and you will keep the roster of heroes organized and clean. Hardcore mode. In this game there is no hardcore mode. In hardcore mode on other games, when the hero dies once, stays dead forever, and the player must create a new character to play the game. The good thing about the Anniversary Edition is that we get many achievements for the Steam version of the game. 3 of these achievements are created for those who like the hardcore idea. The achievement Hardcore Player, you unlock it if you complete the normal difficulty of the game with 0 deaths. The achievement Hardcore Master, you unlock it if you complete the epic difficulty with 0 deaths. And the achievement Hardcore Legend, which gets unlocked if you complete the legendary difficulty with 0 deaths. So, although there is no hardcore mode similar to the mode in other games, there is a reason, or rather 3 reasons, to play the game as we were playing a true hardcore mode. So the challenge is there for those who would like to take it. Frenzy Scrolls. While playing the game, there are many occasions where you will get scrolls. Sometimes you will get them as a quest reward, other scrolls drop from chests or monsters, and of course you will be able to also buy scrolls. One of the scrolls in the game is the Frenzy Scroll. When used, this scroll gives piercing damage and more movement speed to the character of the player. It would be wise to keep stacking Frenzy Scrolls and holding them in your stash if you do not need to use them all until you complete the game. The reason is if you complete the game on one difficulty or all of the difficulties and then you decide to start farming specific areas for items or experience, you will have many Frenzy Scrolls to use when you need to cover long distances during farming. This scroll will boost your movement speed significantly and it will make your farming faster and more enjoyable, of course. Set item pieces. In this game we have set items. When we equip 2 pieces of a set, we gain a bonus of this set. When we equip 3 pieces, we gain more bonus, and the same happens when a set consists of multiple items. The more items we equip, the more bonuses we gain. There is a tip here that should be very good to know. If we find a set item 2 times and then equip the 2 copies of the same item, then we also gain the bonus we get when we equip 2 different items of a set. Let's see an example here. We have the set Gladiator's Creed. This set consists of 2 different rings only. It is a 2-piece set. The rings are the Timeos and the Alki. If we equip these 2 rings, we get the bonus this set provides. Now, if we take off the Timeos ring and equip 1 more copy of the Alki ring, a second copy that we found while playing the game, then we still get the bonus of the set. So with this feature we have the possibility of having a better micromanagement of our builds, and also we can create a bigger variety of builds. Keep this in mind for your gaming sessions. Relics Crystal of Erebus. In the game there are items called charms or relics. These items drop in pieces. For relics we need 3 pieces of the same relic shard to make the relic complete, and for charms we need 5 pieces to make it complete. All relics and charms can be found multiple times through the world of Titan Quest, all but one. This one is called Crystal of Erebus. It is a charm and it needs 5 pieces to be complete. The thing about this specific charm is that it can only be found 3 times per character in the game, in the whole game, and only once per difficulty of the game, which means when we start playing the game in a normal difficulty with a new character, we will be able to find only up to 5 pieces of this charm and to complete only one charm on the normal difficulty. If we want to find and complete a second charm with the same character, then we need to play the second difficulty of the game, and for a third one we need to play and find it in the legendary difficulty. This is happening because this charm is attached to a side quest of the game, and we can complete this side quest only once per difficulty, because it is a side quest. So, this Crystal of Erebus charm is actually a rare item, and it can be very good in the end and very helpful for our heroes. So it is a very good idea to save every Crystal of Erebus you collect in your stash if you don't want to use it right away with your current hero, because it might be needed later in the game. It might be very useful later in the game with this specific hero or another new character that you are going to create in the future. Speed types. There are 4 different types of speed in this game that we can affect with items for our characters. There is the attack speed, the casting speed, the movement speed, and the projectile speed. The movement speed increases how fast our characters can run. The more movement speed percentage we stack on items, the faster we run in the world of Titan Quest. Of course, there are some skills that increases our character's movement speed too. The attack speed affects how fast our characters can attack with their weapons. Item types that get affected by attack speed are all the weapons, all bows, and all staves. Staves always release an elemental projectile when they get used, but this is not considered as casting a spell, so it gets affected by the attack speed of weapons and not the casting speed. On the other hand, casting speed comes into play when we use some skills from our mastery trees. But there are also some skills on masteries that are getting affected not from casting speed but from attack speed, like for example the skill Batter, which uses a shield as a weapon. Some skills of this type that use the weapons directly are affected by attack speed. Maybe in a future video guide we will see all the skills one by one and try to figure out which skills work with casting speed and which skills work with attack speed. And also we have the projectile speed, which increases the traveling speed of our projectiles, such as arrows and the elemental projectiles released by staves, and it gives more chances for our projectiles to hit our enemies. In our character sheet we can see the stats of 3 of the speed types: the attack speed, the movement speed, and the casting speed. Unfortunately, there is no stat to show us the projectile speed. And last but not least, there is also the attribute plus total speed on some items, and as the name says, this plus total speed percentage increases all 4 types of speed at the same time. Artifacts. One item type that was introduced to the game back in 2007 with the expansion Immortal Throne is artifacts. These items cannot be found anywhere in the game and cannot be bought, To use artifacts, we need to create them ourselves. To create an artifact, first we find a recipe. Each artifact has its own recipe. Recipes or formulas always require 3 more items to use with the recipe to be able to create the artifact. If we find all 3 items required by the recipe, we go to the NPC enchanter in a town of the game, we click on the altar of creation tab, we put in the slots the recipe and all of the other items, and we click the create artifact button. Of course, it costs gold to create an artifact. Higher quality artifacts are more expensive to create. In the first stages of the game, you will not have an artifact to equip to your character, but this is not a problem actually. Artifacts are not necessary to complete the game. They are of course great items to use because they help a lot, but they are not necessary. So you don't need to feel that you are playing the game wrong if you don't use an artifact, especially in the first stages of the game.